Hey everybody, welcome back to Mrs. RATTLECAN'S house. We're going to do a special feature today. We're going to call this the state of the estate. I know that sounds a little poncy, not really living on an estate, although when you're mowing it, it sure feels like it. So what I'm going to attempt to do is in one take you through, and we're going to talk about all the stuff that is going on, all the stuff that needs to be done, all the stuff that is done. And we'll start in here in the workshop, which is last on the list. As we all know, I have to get Mrs. RATTLECAN'S house done first before we can get anything else done. And currently, this is mostly storage for stuff that came out of the basement that will eventually be reassembled and used in RATTLECAN Guitar Restoration's shop. The workshop is also currently serving as a cold room for my wife's bulbs. We are slowly getting rid of the carpet. This is all the carpet we have left. We put it in the garbage can as much as it'll fit in once a week. And it's kind of like eating an elephant. You do it one bite at a time. Here's the old HVAC system that is out. Here are pieces of the new HVAC system, which is in the process of being installed. Let's shut these out, shut these off, and we will head into the house. You can see it's a lovely fall day. 50 degrees. Well, it was 50. It's not 50 anymore. Temperature's dropping. It's supposed to be in like the low 30s into the 20s tomorrow. So as you can see, we're doing a lot of this. We're doing a lot of this, which is great fun. As you can see, there are all kinds of fun shaped things in the garage right now. This is also part of HVAC that's going in. This is our test door going into the laundry room, which actually worked pretty well. So we're thinking we're just going to strip the trim, and call it good. There are doors that have been pulled off. Here are the kitchen counter, or the kitchen cabinets and drawers fronts, that these still all need to be sanded. They all need to be painted. New hardware needs to be applied to those. These are the radiator covers. These all still need to be painted. These are the two toilets that still need to be reworked. This is recycling and stuff that I need to take out when I'm done making this. This is Scribble Scrabble, because we're trying to pick locations for switches. If you haven't heard, we're rewiring the house, and we're going to lose 3 of these 9-position switches. This is the laundry room that is still awaiting to be tiled, because the priority for tiling the floor has gone way down since we have done a couple of other things. So there it is, just waiting to be done. We just got to find time. These are the cabinets that are no longer going to be painted. Yay, said James. We have covers in some form or fashion over the radiator covers just to keep the dust out, because Mrs. RATTLECAN has finished cleaning them. We are 80% done, maybe 90% done in getting this ready to paint. We've had to fill this in. This was all ugly before, because we're going to drop 2 pendant lights down there. The tile backsplash will of course still need to be put on. Cabinets need to be painted. Kitchen countertop needs to be removed. Sink needs to be removed. New recycled glass countertops will have to go in. This of course is going to be replaced. Wire's going to be replaced. We're rewiring the whole frigging house. Yes, I said it. And in the process of rewiring, we have to mount new light switch boxes in, which is going to be an interesting exercise because these have these little metal rings in them that we are going to have to cut through or cut out, which may be very interesting when combined with plaster. Because, well, you know, who would do easy things? All these receptacles are going to be replaced. All the lighting will be rewired. The floors still need to be refinished. The TV mounts up, although that's good. More floors to be refinished. This room is going to have to be painted. This all has to be rewired. This was right about the time we were deciding whether or not we were going to rewire everything. And you can see right now that is 14 gauge wire. Luckily I haven't run very much of it because that's all getting pulled out. We're going to rewire the whole house with 12-2 or 12-3 wire. This is one of those rings I was telling you about that is, I don't know if these are pounded in from the back. Certainly feels like it. A whole nother episode to talk about. Let's go up into the attic. Oh, and I didn't bring my knee pads either. This is gonna hurt. As you can see, there is no insulation up here. All of the old vermiculite and blown in cellulose and fiberglass and matte fiberglass insulation, all that combination stuff has been taken out. You can see the air sealing we're doing with the various top plates. You can see my panels that I have constructed to allow us access to where we want to go, as well as the ability to insulate things. We lose insulation if we just put a piece of plywood down, so to crawl on, and we need access all the way to the other side. Let me move my old man knees over here. As you can see, while I was out working with the band, oldest decided to strong arm this up all by himself, and so we were working on getting switches and cutoffs and stuff installed. We're starting to rough in our piping runs, and let's see, way down there you can see that that is the cover that we have built for the whole house ventilation fan. So now it's encased in 2-inch sheet insulation, so hopefully it's not going to be too stinking cold. So alright, now let's go back. Well, no, let's talk about this. See that nice little braiding of wire? All that's going to be gone. So there are 3 of those. Excuse me while I turn around. You know, this really isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be trying to do this in one take. Good grief. Alright. Now we're finally going back the right direction. So, we'll take a look here. So, there are 3 of those in our house, and all of those we're going to have to pull out. Every one of these runs to at least one place. In many instances it runs to 2 or 3 different locations, and all that wire is going to have to be pulled. All these transverters are going to have to be pulled. It'll be great when it's done. These foamed in areas you see with the sheet insulation up here, these are areas above your built-ins. If you have built-ins done during construction, they usually leave the space open to the attic. And so we have filled these in so that we do not have to worry about air infiltration. We have also put in rafter vents. Is there a good view of them? Well, there's kind of one back there. Anyways, we've done all of that. So now we have roughly half of the airflow that we're going to need to properly ventilate this attic, which is probably 60 or 70% more ventilation than it had when we got here. And we'll be spending a lot more time in that room. Let's head on back to the residence wing. Here we are. This bathroom actually doesn't need too much. I have to replace a window. I have to we're going to have to pull that toilet out and get that toilet reworked once we get the other one or two put back in. And then other than a good cleaning, we're good to go. Again, floors need to be redone in here. Not much needs to be done in here other than painting floors. This is what the doors look like. At this time, they're painted on the other side. There's a really good chance that's just one layer of paint. If it's one layer of paint, then it's coming off, as well as on the trim. Another bedroom, same thing. Paint and floor. Master bedroom, paint and floor. Mrs. RATTLECAN has actually requested that we leave this here as a homage to the wondrous technological advancements we've made since 1955. And since, well, she's pretty smart, and I kind of like her, we'll honor that. That needs to be filled in, that big gaping hole there. We'll fill that in. Mirror's going to go up in there. Tile needs to be repaired. Fixture needs to be swapped out in there. Toilet needs to be put back on. Grout needs to be cleaned. Just a general painting. I have to pull that countertop off and make a new countertop with this Formica to go over the top of it. And then we have a period style sink that will go in. Every light switch you see in here is going to have to be cut out and rewired. Hey, we're almost done. The front yard looking pretty darn nice today, even though it's a pretty dismal day outside. Yeah, there's a smell outside. I think there's probably a dead possum somewhere. We know it's not a dead skunk because, well, we all know what that smells like. One more level to go. Am I replacing things like the wiring for the stove? Yeah, I probably am. Because if someone's going to replace that stove in the future, they're probably going to replace it with a stove that's wired for a chassis ground, which that one is not. We still need to wire or plumb, I guess, the water softener. We still need to run a discharge line, which after consulting with a plumber buddy of mine, we're probably going to end up running that through that wall and over to the sump. We're not confident at all in the integrity of that drain to go over to that sump. Not happening. Still need to repack that valve because it still leaks. We We still need to do something with the floors. We haven't decided exactly what, other than we have to do something with the floors. We're actually relocating lights. Mrs. RATTLECAN wants there to be a ceiling fan here. She wants it to be centered up. So since we're having to rewire it, guess what we'll do? We will honor her request, because she is so pretty and so nice to me. We have reworked the sump pump so that it is now functional. We are waiting until next year to properly discharge it into the yard. Here's the big one. We're replacing this. We're replacing everything from basically from the meter box to the outlets. It's all getting replaced. I'm just not happy with it. And if you're ever going to rewire a house, to do it while the ceiling is off of the basement, to do it while the insulation is out of the attic, that's the time to do it. So we're going panel shopping probably on Saturday, which doesn't bode well, because if we're gonna try to make everything go by code, we can't put that in that enclosure there. Because as much as we can, we're gonna bring everything up to the 2017 National Electric Code. There to be a ceiling as much as we can. We've now flip-flopped. I think this is going to become Mrs. RATTLECAN'S room. That would probably work better if there was a light bulb in it. There we go. We haven't done very much in this room, other than the fact that I cleaned the burners out. Cleaned those out, cleaned the pan out under there, cleaned all the debris out from underneath the burner tubes, from underneath the exhaust there. There's some condensate which causes some, some stuff to fall out. We still actually haven't figured out the best way to resolve this. I have a water heater that, well, first of all, I got a pop-off valve that doesn't have a pipe that goes down to the ground. That's not good, because if that thing opens, it's like not fun stuff all over at, armpit level. I also have to replace this backflow valve. And right now, I don't have anything other than the floor to discharge that to. So we're going to have to try to figure out a way so that we can get enough elevation drop to get this to come around this corner and then come down that way down into the sump. Because, there's just not enough to do. And if you're going to do it, now's the time to do it. The boiler works great. We fired the boiler up. Once we got it off this obscenely high temperature setting to where it doesn't generate steam anymore, it works like a peach. I don't know what hose bib decided to do that, because you can't accidentally set that. And then, I don't think we can even really see anything in there, can we? Let's see. We'll put this up here and very feebly give you some light. The big job that you can't see anything about from this point is filling in this area just on the other side of this wall. There was a big, huge gap in the ground. I don't know why. No one's ever been able to offer an explanation why that makes any sense. So it all got filled in. There was a major, I'm not going to call it a major crack. There was a crack, as you can see, on the wall that I have repaired. It's on both sides. And then once we were done with that, then we were able to encapsulate the basement. 6 mil Durascrim barrier with the, GS121 gutter sealant, adhering it to the cinder block walls. I have checked it twice so far, and it is just absolutely rock solid adhered to that. So that's the state of the estate. That is things that have been done. That is the things that need to be done. Things that are in process of being done. And Man, I'm tired. Now I'm depressed because there's so much crap to do and not a huge amount of time because it is November the something or anothereth. And I've got until the 1st of May to get all this stuff done. So if you personally know me and you live in the area, you might be getting a call. So that's what's going on. Right now we're trying to figure out which one of these old construction boxes we're going to put in. I've got another couple that I'm going to go buy because I want the one with the biggest amount of volume in it, because if I'm running 12.2 or 12.3 wire in here and I've got to make splices, I need all the room I can get. So that is the state of the estate, kids. If you have enjoyed looking at my gigantic nightmare, make sure to give us a thumbs up. More importantly, if you have anything that you might think would be helpful to us, be sure and put it in the comments down below the sermon notes. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love to tell Mrs. RATTLECAN what somebody wrote. She is as amazed as I am that people from across the country and other parts of the world are interested in what we're doing and find what we're doing, if not helpful, at least entertaining. Be sure to subscribe, and I think I might go have some sort of malted barley beverage. You guys have a great weekend. Cheers.
If you enjoyed watching this episode of Mrs. RATTLECAN'S house, consider checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, and to get the latest updates on our progress, like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Perhaps we should have some wine.